Okay, I hope this is recording. I'm trying to record from my phone, so I cannot answer for the hideousness of this video, but I wanted to try and get this video up. So, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties on week 2. This is a little ridiculous, but my computer is not working right now, and so I'm having to do everything from my phone, and it's driving me crazy. But this week we're talking about coming out of the broom closet, and I really don't have a great story, but I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. I did grow up in a very Christian home. My father was a preacher. We went to church like 3 or 4 times a week. My parents weren't strict, or anything like that. They were just they were devoted Christians, I guess you could say. And after I got married and got out on my own, I've always been more attached to the feminine than the masculine, obviously. And I really never felt like I had anybody to connect to in Christianity. I always wanted a female figure to look up to. I was always sick of hearing about the guys, and it was just not something that I absolutely connected to. And as most of you will know, I struggled with my spirituality for a while. Not sure if I was just plain pagan, if I was Wiccan. I was so confused for a time there. I know a lot of you remember that on The Lucky Witch. And I wound up going from pagan to Wiccan to just a witch to now just being a spiritualist. I am just connected to the universe, and that's my practice. I don't claim a religious name or anything like that. But as far as coming out of the broom closet, I don't remember necessarily coming out and saying, okay, I'm Wiccan. I know the conversation started when I was wearing a triquetra and my mom asked me what it was about. And I basically told her, and she saw my Facebook and things like that. And then she just started asking me questions, but they never agreed with it, but it was never a huge deal. She just always, would say to me, okay, just, don't be worshiping the devil and all that. And I explained to her, there is no devil, it's not what she thought it was. And, I really didn't have a lot of trouble. Most of my friends knew, majority of my friends, my family. For me, and for some odd reason, it was never an issue, which was good. My sexuality has always been more of an issue for some people, but for me, my spiritual journey and my religious journey, I've been very, very open about. Although I would say, if you're going to be open with your religious, beliefs or spiritual beliefs, you need to know exactly what you believe before you go talking about it. For the simple fact is, people are going to ask you questions, and if you can't answer those questions, you're not just going to look like an idiot yourself. You're going to make the religion itself look stupid and unreliable. So, you really need to go on a journey with yourself and deity or whatever religious path you're trying to find, and learn it and really explore it before you full force come out of the closet with it. And there's really nothing that says you have to be open about your religious or your spiritual path. You can keep it private. It doesn't have to be a public, thing. So, this is just a little rant. It's not much of a video, and I'm really aggravated that I lost the previous video I made. Last week's video was a rant ramble, and this one's a rant ramble, and it's really aggravating me. Next week will be a full video because this shit is pissing me off. But thank you guys for being so patient. Thank you, Charlie, for uploading, and everyone else for, getting on track. And like Charlie said, some of us are having some technical difficulties, okay? But thank you guys for your support, and I will see you next Monday. Rain, shine, computer, whatever. I will fucking be here. So thank you guys, and have a good one.